The problem with Asian languages. สวัสดีครับ大家好 It's been a while. My apologies for not posting any clips for the past almost 2 months, I think. I've been working on a project for the past couple of months, and usually I'll record at about 4 a.m. I have things edited down by about 6:30 before the house wakes up and things go crazy, and I haven't been able to do that, but I can now. And so this is the first of what will be many more clips to come, picking up from where I left off. So first of all, thank you to everybody who has supported me, up to over 150,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're getting value from the content, well then go ahead and click subscribe and the bell. Some weird things have been going on with the algorithm, and so I've seen some funny patterns and viewing patterns, and so your subscription, I'm sure, is going to help. But let's get back to this, the problem with Asian languages. Now, some people on hearing that might think, what are you talking about? White Asian languages have a problem. Maybe a bit of a clickbaity title, but there is a reason why I say that. Now, as many of you know, I'm the author of the book Cracking Thai Fundamentals, A Thai Operating System for Your Mind. That book actually came out about 10 years ago, but it's based on my Cracking Thai Fundamentals program from 25 years ago that I started. And the reason why I initially put that course together was because a bunch of journalists from the Foreign Correspondents Club of Thailand, diplomats, NGO workers who came to Thailand, many of them had stopped learning Thai because they'd just given up, they'd had bad experiences. And as I dug into their experiences, I found a common theme that many had just not enjoyed the learning process. Their teachers couldn't answer questions that they thought were simple, or they found the learning system boring that they were learning from, or they just couldn't get it, so they gave up. And so I put Cracking Thai Fundamentals to put these fundamentals of what I saw important for learning Thai. And as somebody who speaks not only Thai, but other tonal languages like different Chinese dialects, and also a grounding in Sanskrit and other Indic languages, maybe there were some things that I could put in there that would help them see things that may be instinctive to native Thai speakers or people who use an Abugida writing system, and shed light on some of these mysteries that Westerners see when they come and learn Thai. Now, Thai isn't all Asian languages. Actually, you can see here in this graph. Now, we'll be delving deeply into this in a moment. You have Mon Khmer languages, which are part of these Austroasiatic, and that includes Vietic languages, Vietnamese. You have the Austronesian languages like Indonesian, Tagalog, and these ones that have come out of Taiwan, all the way down to the Pacific Islands, still follow this train of languages. So there are so many different languages there. Japanese, Korean are another family again. So when I say Asian languages, what do I mean, and why do I clump them all together like that? So over the past year, you've seen me building these tools out at crackinglanguage.com. And so you can see, for example, many languages from this part of the world across Asia use the Indic Abugida rather than an ABC. So this originally was this sort of Sanskrit. This is Devanagari, so originally actually Brahmi, but I've got the Devanagari here, so you can write Sanskrit, Nepali, Marathi, anything in the Devanagari script, the Gurmukhi script for Punjabi, but you can see it's all this map of the mouth. So I started building these tools out because I saw there was a lack in the market of understanding of how these systems really work, especially when you're shifted out of alphabets. And then, of course, we've got things like Javanese, we've got Balinese, which even though they're coming from different language families, these are Austronesian languages, they were still influenced with this Abugida. They have Sanskrit language in there, and there are some commonalities there. And even looking at things like Hanyu Pinyin, even though they use Chinese characters, there was a system of writing, the Qieyun system, where they actually based it on this same Sanskrit map of the mouth. I've actually built it into this. So this is the Qieyun Chinese. So this is Middle Chinese and how it mapped to Sanskrit. And dictionaries used to be presented that way. And these, of course, whether it's the consonants or I have the vowel compass here, which also complement those. And so you can see even Korean are based on these systems. Other core parts of the language are hooked into here. So of course we have tones. And so once you understand from this Indic system and then the local language system, whether it's Sinitic or it's Austronesian or it's Taigadai, whatever it is, you can start to put these pieces together from different parts, all of which are quite foreign and alien to maybe Western European language speakers, but they make sense to people in this part. And so what I've done here, I've put over 300 dialects you can see from Laos, from Thailand, from China, Vietnamese, Cantonese, and all of these other TAI dialects. I've mapped them out here because they're all running on the same engine. And so coming back to the title of this video, the problem with Asian languages, the problem that I saw were that whether it's online resources like Duo Lingo or things like this, or books, the teaching methods and the teaching materials that were going out there, especially for languages of this part of the world, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, Burmese, Indonesian, the teaching materials and the content were targeted at trying to explain things in a clunky way to, say, Westerners, English speakers, and sometimes they didn't really understand why things were that way. They just were because they were native speakers. And then the people learning those languages, whether it's people learning Thai or Vietnamese, had such difficulty they couldn't get it right and they would give up. How do we fix the problem? Well, I'll show you what I did. What you're looking at right now is a map of all of these common things that I could think of. And they're either coming from my book or I wrote again. And I saw that across languages, that these are some common threads, common things that different languages share. Now, not all of them share all the same things. So, for example, here I'm looking at consonants. And if I highlight just consonants, you can see, these are things, especially if they're hooked into abugidas, that you're going to want to know about consonants in this part of the world. Or you might look at things like tone sandhi. That's not even an issue for languages in Europe, but you have tone sandhi, and these are the languages that tone sandhi is a relevant topic. And so I've started mapping all of these topics that I think are core fundamental learnings that people should have of languages of this world, and then started to link them together as nodes. And so if you want to get just the base fundamentals down for that language before even getting at all advanced, you need to know this stuff. And so looking at it as a graph like this, well, okay, you can pull them across and back and forth and look super cool. And you can see for each of these, I've actually already written content for all of these kinds of things, or they might be coming from my book. Each topic you see there is a learning cornerstone. This shape here, by the way, is the Einstein tile. So you can see in a minute that you can fit them together. So I thought it was apt because with each one of these cornerstones, now I'm only showing a few here, but we've got pronunciation. So whatever language it is that you're coming into, you need to get the sounds right. And then you need a way of representing those sounds in phonetic writing. So for example, for Thai, that might be the Pai Bun Plus system. You might use IPA, but you need some system. For Chinese, it's Hanyu Pinyin. This would be the phonetic writing system that we're looking at. And then once you've got that, you could start to master things like tones and really get them into your throat. And to know tones, for example, in Thai, you need to know consonant classes. Then you have making meanings. And so once you've got the sounds together, you need to build meanings up. And then you need to be able to know the grammar and the structures. And you get that through listening, through exposure, reading native writing samples. That's a big thing, because if you can't read writing, sometimes you can't even exist in the community. And so I've put all of these blocks together, thinking in meanings. You'll see in my Cracking Thai Fundamentals series, I've got the signs like kun, long, pai, ma, where these are fundamental meanings to be able to basically short circuit the English language, or whatever your mother tongue is, to get you thinking straight in Thai. As we put these bricks together, each book then would have its own fundamental bricks to form up the content of that book. But the really cool thing is that once you've learnt one of these, you can then apply it to other languages. You don't have to start again in a clunky way, written like it's targeting somebody from the West learning from the first time. You can see Indonesian here. Not all of the topics from Thai are relevant, but there are some. Burmese as well. And it goes throughout all of the languages that you saw there. So whether it's Khmer, whether it's Thai, Vietnamese, Cantonese, Indonesian, Mandarin, I've started building modular content out for all of these languages. And so each of those books, what's the content going to look like? So this is for Mandarin. Bang, you've got these topics here. The great thing about Obsidian is that the way I have these tagged now, I can just change the language here. Let's say Thai. And bang, I have all of the Thai topics that we would use in the Thai book. So this would pretty much be the structure of the new Cracking Thai book, making meanings and being understood. So that would actually be usable language. It would go beyond what my original books are doing, and also text skills, because I think they're important. Let's have a look at another language quickly, just as we finish up here. So let's look at Vietnamese. What have we got for Vietnamese? So you can see here the Zunom characters, because this is a part of Vietnamese, and you can see I've actually written a lot of the content already for these. Consonants, dialects, and regional variations. You can see all of these Quoc Ngữ, phonetic writing system, which is the standard Vietnamese system. But all of these things are stuff that you need to know, even if you want to get off first base with the Vietnamese language. And of course, I'll be teaming up with native Vietnamese speakers to put their input in there and have something that's really, really useful for you if you're learning Vietnamese. And so coming back to that original question, the problem with Asian languages, or what is it? I found that it's that Western learning resources a lot of the time don't really get these systems, and so they end up teaching it in a clunky way, or they try and use some Western language-based techniques to teach them, and then they become more confusing. And so what I have built out here is a framework for teaching all of these core concepts that go beyond maybe Western concepts to really understand them well. And the great news is if you've learnt them then for one language, well then you're going to be able to then get a head start if you want to learn something else. So what does this mean for you? Well, first of all, I've built all of these awesome tools totally free for you to use if you are learning any of the languages from around here. Now, these tools are great for Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, Lao, even Sanskrit, Korean, Hangul. I've got things that can help you through here. Any tonal languages, I've got the tools here for you totally free. If you're learning Thai, of course, you can get a copy of Cracking Thai Fundamentals right now. That's the original book. Now, this new series of Cracking Language is going to be slightly different to my original book. It's going to have these modules in there in much easier bite-sized pieces so you can get it, and then also make the language functional from the get-go so you can actually get some really good examples of the living language. For the languages that I'm not that strong in, I'll be having native speakers also coming in and contributing to them. But this is something that's down the pike there, so get ready for it and hold me accountable to make sure that I finish these. I've written a ton of stuff, probably about 60% of the stuff for each of these topics I've written already. What I need to do now is go through each language and target that topic to each of these languages, and then I'll be building the series. I want to make hard copy versions and then soft copy versions for ebooks. For the hard copy, I can do a few different things so they'll complement each other, and then you have these resources. While these tools are totally free, if you want the actual courses, well, first of all, I'd say come to my Minecraft Evergreen course. We actually meet up face-to-face, 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off. We had a bit of a break over Songkran. We'll be coming back next week, 4 on, 4 off, so we can actually go through and exchange with each other, talk and learn from everyone's experiences. But I've got almost 5 years worth of courses in there for Minecraft that you can access the content to right now. If you are learning Thai, come and subscribe to the Cracking Thai Unlimited bundle. That's different to the hard copy book, but they both complement each other. So it's probably great to get both of them. But the exciting thing is that years and years of putting of this stuff together, hopefully, is very soon going to culminate in this series. So there you go. Pretty exciting. I hope you will support me. Come to crackinglanguage.com, play around with the tools. Let me know if there are tools that you would like to see built, and I'll see if I can code them together and throw them together for you. Any support that you can give is appreciated. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.